I am African. I'm proud to be African. I am proud of my identity and very comfortable in my own skin. I am a village girl. I know what it is like to be scared, to be hopeless, to be poor. I'm inspired by strong women, village women that walk for miles with buckets on their heads. I fight for what I believe, and I believe in women power.
The alarming statistics on femicide, rape, and domestic violence.
Domestic violence has also taken another tangent.
They're the women who take their own lives, hidden victims of domestic abuse.
Try again. Now this guy seems to be acting up. I'm not sure, maybe it's the alternator. Do you think we should ever to give it a push? No, I'm also looking at it's overheating here. I think we should need to pour a bit of water. We need to pour a bit of water. Just hold on, hang on a bit. I just want to cool it down a bit. I'm going to put a bit of water. Yeah. No, it's been acting up this last week. We've been having this problem with this car. And it's just a problem. You know, we need to get to the sessions very quickly. Yeah, can you try again? Let's see. Fantastic. All right. No, thank you. That's great. I think we are all set now. So the story with the Caravan is that our idea has always been to provide accessible mental health services to our communities. And so people in these communities are normally low income, people who earn very little and would not be able, in sort of their normal lives, be able to pay to see a psychologist or a social worker. And so we want to make mental health services accessible to the most vulnerable people of our country. And so what we found, generally speaking, is that a lot of people have depression, but also domestic violence, as I say, is very, very problematic, especially during COVID. Lots of physical violence, and we generally have very high cases of femicide, where women are killed by their partners. This is something that's very common. So intimate partner violence, a lot of emotional and psychological abuse. Yeah, I think we've arrived. We're here. So we're going to get a chance to pick up a couple of people that we'll be talking to. All right. Finally here. Oh, nice. Thank you for coming. It's good to see you.
Ncazelo, how are you?
Nice to see you. Nice to see you.
Long time.
No, long time. It's lovely to see you.
Yeah.
Thank you for coming. Yeah. Are you ready to go?
Yes, we are.
Fantastic. Please come. Please go into the car. Yeah. Okay.
I was wishing that on Fridays, I was wishing that Fridays never come because I knew when they come on Friday, there will be a fight every day. Can you slap you? You cry. Tomorrow he'll kick you. You cry. Next time he won't kick you, he won't slap you, he'll take a brick and hit you with it. The last time is when he knocked me with his car.
With what?
With his car.
Okay.
And I was pregnant. Can I finish?
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah. And you're expecting at the time? Yeah.
I was expecting. And I was due, I was 9 months. Then he knocked me with his car. And then my leg got broken and then I had to go to hospital. battle with big time, you can imagine. Think of yourself if you are not there. What will your children do? Do you really love your kids? You asked me that question. You said, do you really love your children? And I said, yes. You asked me again, do you love your children? And then I said, yes, I do. And then you said, but think of yourself. If maybe you are no more, you are gone, what will your children get love? Or how will they get love? Loved by you when you're no longer in this world. So you must prioritize your kids. Yes. And then I took that and I look at my children and I say, I will live for you.
You decided to live for your children.
I decided to live for my kids. And even today, I don't want anything to do with men, husbands, relationships. I'm okay on my own.
Yeah.
Yes. And I'm happy.
And you are happy.
Yes. I feel free. And I'm happy.
Yeah.
And my kids are surviving without their father. He does not even support them because he's not even working. But I was still there. He was not working, but I thought maybe it's a good thing to be there because we are married, we love each other. I thought so. But though he was abusing me, but now that I'm out of this married life, I'm a single lady who is independent and I'm happy with my life. And I'm owning my life, as you can see me. Right now I'm having a preschool and ECD, which I'm running.
Yeah.
I opened last year.
Loved people. I'm somebody who's always connected deeply with people, and I remember, during school holidays, I would be in a car with my dad and driving through the markets, of the communities that we were living in, and I'd be asking my dad to stop because I would be seeing women selling vegetables, and something about that really touched me. Poverty. I cared a lot about the issues that affect people's lives. And I remember crying and saying, Dad, I want you to buy from all these women, on the streets. And whenever I would have money, I still do this today. If I get to a market, I want to spread my money. Imbeleko, in my culture, in my language, means a blanket that is made of animal skin. That women used to carry their babies. So when I grew up as a child, I've always known about an imbeleko. But when I worked for Nelson Mandela Children's Fund, for the first time, imbeleko was used as, a concept referring to, work with indigenous communities. Communities, African communities, have knowledges and they have skills. And so I started to appreciate the concept of imbeleko in a different way, because that experience of being on my aunt's back was extremely comforting. It was reassuring. It was really sort of life-giving. And so I then got a lot of inspiration in thinking about mental health work and psychosocial services, and thinking how important it is for us to be acknowledging of African knowledges, of communities' knowledges around recovery and healing from adverse experiences, and not always importing ideas from the West in terms of, what we need to be doing to heal and to recover.
I used to tell her that whenever I start my organization, I would come back to take her. I know I said that, and I haven't forgotten one day. It's so lovely to be here. I'm so glad I could make this trip, particularly being here in the Madiba room and seeing Dada's chair and just the meetings and the times that we'd be here doing work. And
you remember those days?
I remember those days. I mean, it's 5-6 years ago, but I still have such strong memories. And I think being here has really taken me back, thinking about the work we used to do with the Children's Parliament.
You remember those days?
Yes.
The Children's Parliament.
Do you still do Children's Parliaments?
Yes, we do. We do every time, every year. We do continue with that project because now they have to listen to the children, what the issues they have. We still to continue. To adhere and to be accountable of what the issues are on the ground for the children.
It was just a privilege and an honor to work for one of the greatest men.
Absolutely.
One of the greatest men in the history of the world. And just to have the 5 years that I was here taught me so much and opened up my mind. It deepened just my appreciation of being African, and just, particularly pride in my identity as an African woman. And it's something that I picked up at the fund, Black consciousness, and Black people doing things for themselves and not depending, on others to bring about the changes that we want to see. And I think this is something that we all need to internalize as African. It's important for our personal evolution as well as the evolution of our continent. And I think this is what Madiba said. He said it is now in our hands. And so he left it in our hands.
He will come and take whatever you want to take. Whatever groceries we bought, take them. Take them to his place. Sometimes he wouldn't even want them. He didn't even want them. He would just take them for fun. Give them to anybody you want to give to. I remember the day he came and said, I need soap. I need to wash my clothes. He went to the cupboard and took soap, put it on his container, filled his containers, and then he put them outside. And then he took milling, put them on his container. He took rice, put them on his container. And what's left, he mixed together with soap and everything that we couldn't eat. He mixed everything. Me and my kids were like sitting and watching him because there was nothing we could do. We knew that if we say something, he would bully us. We knew that if we do something, he would beat me up. And then the neighbors are like, people don't come out. People don't come out to help. They don't. You're on your own. You are there helpless. People can hear whatever's happening. You're on your own. Then when I woke up in the morning, I have to go to work. He comes with a bucket of urine. He pour it over me. He waited for me until I reached the bus stop. With the baby on my back, he poured a bucket of urine on me. What was worst was my kids. My kids turned against me.
Turned against you.
They turned against me. They were angry at me. I don't blame them. They were angry at me because I brought brought this person into their life. I brought this person into their life.
Sorry.
Then I was frustrated. I was frustrated because I don't want him in my life anymore. One day, I decided I don't want to live. I made a decision. My kids went to school in the morning. And then I said to myself, I don't want to live anymore. I'm tired. I'm drained. I can't live. I went to the shops to buy red boys. I wanted to eat red boys. Then I called my cousin. I said to her, please, just do me a favor. Just make sure that you're always there for my kids. She said, why? I said, just be sure. And I called my daughter and said to her, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for everything I put you guys through. I'm very sorry. I'm very, very sorry. But as I was ready to do it, she came and kicked the door because she was very scared.
Yeah.
She said to me, Mama, you can't do this. You are not alone. We're here with you. You can't do this. We know what you're going through. You can't do this. We'll just take it one step at a time. Just take it one step at a time.
PHOLA became an initiative that was about advancing homegrown, culturally sensitive counseling methodologies, mental health methodologies. And so now we are working largely in different parts in Johannesburg, where we go to vulnerable communities that have, many challenges. So we have programs that focus on men, on women, on children, on young people, and communities in crisis. And so our team has got social workers and psychologists and community practitioners. And it's about just working together to create the solutions that our communities need. I mean, there's a lot of trauma in our communities. If you talk about the history of apartheid, violence, we have huge numbers of gender-based violence in our communities.
Ourselves a very high target that by 2023 we wanted to reach 100,000 people directly with our mental health services, with our culturally sensitive services, but we know we are far from realizing that. And largely due to what you're saying, Mrs. Ncube, the limited financial resources for us to expand.
In African society, we sing, we dance, we laugh, and we eat food together. So celebration is a huge part of our culture. Even when things are difficult in our funerals, you'll see people singing and dancing, and that's how we are as a people. We are a happy people at heart. But to talk about our graduation ceremonies, when we take people through therapy, whether it's courage or tree of life group therapy, at the end of this session, we invite communities, we invite people to come and witness these milestones in people's lives. People who've gone through trauma, who take part in our therapies are supported to move to places and to territories that were previously not available to them.
It was an amazing journey. You know, I learned so much from these young adults. They educated me so much about life, things I didn't know about, their journeys in their lives.
I'm from the ghetto. I'm from the ghetto. No one told me to sing, but I just ran along with my music.
One minute is all loving, it's so nice, and next minute it changes into another animal. There was this, his eyes changed to something that I don't know. He foam in his mouth. For instance, he'll take out the whole things in the house, cupboards. I'm going. So I'll just lock the door. And then he'll come back again. Baby, I was joking. You know I love you. He'll hug me. He'll expect me to sleep in his chest. Or to sleep with me, knowing that I'm hurting. I will be sleeping. While I'm sleeping, he takes my phone. Then I'll just wake up in the middle of the night and find them scrolling. Who is this? Who is that? I'll have to explain each and every call. You are lying. You're a fucking bitch. I had to explain myself, where I'm going, who I'm with, who's calling me. He'll send people to monitor me. He'll tell me I was following us. I sent someone. He found me coming from the crash. I wasn't at the house yet. He started to drag me on the streets. Lucky enough, the owner of the crash had gone out to tell the ladies. Because that time, many women died. So they didn't want that anymore. So while he was dragging me, I heard a whistle. One person whistled and many women came with shambox, everything. They beat him up. So I was screaming because, there's something about a woman you love, no matter what. Seeing the father of my kid down there, blood was coming out. They said, no, I screamed. Then they said, no, we're not going to kill him. We are just teaching him, okay? So the women took me to the crash. And then lockdown came. Things went worse. He locked me inside the house.
During the COVID lockdown?
Yes. He told me that if you try to run away with my children, I'm going to kill you and bury you in that garden. Every time I went out that garden, I would see my grave. I knelt down with my kids. We prayed. I looked for shelter all over. I couldn't find. It was packed. It was during COVID. Shelters were packed. So I knelt down and prayed and said, God, I'm about to leave. I'm asking you to be the father of these kids. I'm asking you to be my husband. I didn't have money on me. The only thing I had was Mrs. Mlilo's number. I was given by my sister. They said they're going to offer you counseling. They assisted me. They said, tell your story. I told my story. And then I went back to my place. They took me again. They bought my kids clothes. And my daughter was sick. They assisted me with money to take her to a clinic. And then what they did, even now I'm speechless. Oh, come on. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you.
You're welcome. Are you happy, guys?
We are.
I'm so happy for you too. I'm so happy. This is a new home. This is a new home.
I thought it would be empty, empty with a bed like this. Just. But I thought it's going to be scary.
You thought it's gonna be?
Spiders.
No, there's no spiders.
It's clean.
It's clean.
It's nice.
But I like dreaming, yes. I think I'm dreaming.
I'll say you, baby.
I always dream about this, but today it feels like I'm dreaming.
So I'm happy now. No more crying. Yeah, you see, I told you go to make a plan. I've cried for this for 13 years. For someone to give me a chance to start my life over. For a healthy environment for my kids.
Oh, baby, sorry.
Why are you crying, Mama?
I just wish women can know that there is hope out there. They mustn't shut up. Whoever you find, tell your story. Tell it, someone will hear one day.
Advice would be that your life is much bigger than the problems that you've been subject to, and that the fact that you're still here and you're standing means that you're a survivor. You know, you have survived to get to where you are. My advice is also for people to invest in relationships with others. You know, the people around you, the people that have been put into your life space. You know, that's for a reason why you have those people in your life. And so if you can draw from those relationships, learn from them and get inspiration and get encouragement from those people who are around you. We need to keep the village alive, because without the village, we can't do anything.